picture spits itself into the lukewarm kitchen light. We wait for ghosts to gather in the emotion of our sight. You shake it like a lullaby, I breathe upon the white. Slow fever Polaroid becomes our little ride. Your shoulders in my sweater, my thumbs in your hair. The radio is quiet, but it hums a certain prayer. We stand beside the window where the city learns to stare, and kiss as if the patient night we're learning to repair. The image blooms in sepia like coffee from a press. Your smile a kind of mercy I'm unready to confess. I sign the lower margin with a vow to love no less. When morning asks for reasons and for orderly address, we tuck it in the mirror frame behind a postcard sky. So every day we'll borrow from the moment we supply. Slow fever in my bloodstream when you whisper shy, a sentence with my name in it that refuses then to die. If later we misplace it in a drawer of winter gloves, we'll find it by the faint perfume the instant picture loves, and swear again by kitchen tiles and ceiling fan above that some small square of paper holds a galaxy of doves. We blow across the corners till the colors settle true, then stick it to the fridge with notes on Milken Avenue. A square of fever cooling into constellations new, to prove the night was ours and that its slow pulse still is blue. The chemistry awakens to a city softened glow. A magnet holds our weather where the kitchen calendars go. Your thumbprint moons the corner like a secret only we know. We file it with the recipes that teach our hunger slow. The beach is made of silver when the winter dims the noon. I wear your coat and stockings underneath the salt blue moon. The gulls arrange like orchestras, the water hums a tune. We walk the pier with hands that hold the ache of quickened June. Your laughter is a scarf that saves my shoulders from the chill. We trace our names with driftwood and pretend that time is still. I kiss the salt from collarbones and make the ocean spill. A whisper only lovers and the patient clams can fill. A lighthouse blinks its eyelid like a tired party host. We drink from thermos coffee like a sacramental toast. You say that love is tidal, that the moon forgot to post. We spread a coat upon a bench and let the wind be rude. You tuck my hair behind my ear the way the brave have sued for tenderness in weather that the city misconstrued. Low tide in lingerie and nothing to intrude. By dusk the ferry writes a line of pearls across the sound. We fold the map of footprints where our promises were found. The cold makes saints of wardrobes and of every careful bound. We carry heat between us like a contraband profound. The lighthouse blinks approval when your laughter lifts the spray. Stockings hold the shoreline where the cold forgets to stay. A ferry horn salutes us as the dusk unhooks the day. We button up the ocean and we take the longest way. A seashell in your pocket hums a ballroom made of foam. The pier leaves splinters in our palms we'll carry home. We toss a coin to winter with a wish for warmer loam, and stitch the wind to stockings as we wander, salt and chrome. The platform breaks the snow into obedient straight lines. A thermos balances between our knees like secret wines. We board the quiet carriage where the map of sleeping shines, and ride in fog on windows all the almosts and the signs. Your suitcase sighs, a weary thing with stickers, ports and prayers. You lean against my shoulder like a city saying fairs. We speak in codes of station clocks and bridges, Ferris stairs, and promise not to promise once we reach the county fairs. The train begins a lullaby in iron, coal and heat. We list the future cities like a necklace, soft and sweet. You draw a tiny heart upon the ticket's numbered sheet, and kiss it just in case the conductor feels our beat. Night train to your name, I count the syllables like lights. They pass like little lighthouses across the folded nights. I vow to follow even when the tunnel swallows sights, and hold you when the rhythm makes our vows new appetites. By morning we are fogging tea and toast in paper bags. The porter laughs and stamps our day with lucky clattering tags. We step out into winter where the station proudly brags that lovers always travel well on rails and woolen flags. The carves a canyon in the frozen midnight air. We rub our thumbs on ticket stubs to call the courage there. The carriage rocks a cradle where our guarded hopes repair. Night train to your name arrives and finds us both prepared. Mileposts tick like metronomes through towns that sleep in rows. We list the lullabies of places no one knows. A baggage rack holds raincoats and the dreams that travel close. And dawn pours orange honey where the snowbank slowly glows. The radio between the stations fills with woolly snow. We lie across the carpet where the faulty sockets glow. I trace a circle on your knee that only we could know. You hum an ancient pop song no one else would slow. Outside the traffic murmurs like a faucet left ajar. Our neighbors toast to something with the rattle of a jar. You say the world is louder than a downtown dive bar. I say the quiet we can make could be a little star. Honey in the static, when you say my name, it travels like a lighthouse through the interference game. You smile like you forgive me for a sin I couldn't tame, then press a sugar mercy on my mouth and take the blame. Talk about the days we lost to watch the ceiling fan spinning like a parlor trick that never had a plan. I list the saints of laundromats and ticket stubs and tan receipts that prove we tried to be a softer kind of clan. You pull the quilt up to our chins and hold the still. We count to 3, then 2, then 1, and let the thunder spill. The power flickers once or twice. We don't believe it will abandon us to candles and to ghosts that windows fill. By morning, dust like fireflies is dancing in the beams. The radio surrenders to a clearer voice that seems to sing the very thing we said inside our midnight dreams. Honey in the static, gold between our seams. We tune the dial to wonder till the city clicks away. A filament of honey keeps the darkest doubts at bay. When fuses fail, your whisper is the small returning day, and static holds us softly like a gold and silver spray. There's a candle in a tumbler, giving jazz to shadow walls. The record keeps a secret in the hiss between its falls. You sway with fingertips that edit out my flaws, and spin me like a vinyl sleeve that knows its older laws. The needle lifts a splinter of a velvet afternoon. A trumpet throws confetti made of bitters and of moon. Your perfume tastes of apricot and accident and two. Now hold your gaze the way a skyline keyed is late June. We borrowed someone's speakers and we turned them soft and loud. A neighbor taps the ceiling like a storm inside a cloud. We laugh into the darkness and the darkness makes a shroud, then tears it with a chorus where my mouth is safe and proud. I'd promise you a library of evenings just like this, where wax and flame and heartbeat make a modest kind of bliss. We catalog the kisses like a vinyl lover's list, and press the label down to make the edges never miss. By side B, night is syrup on the windowsill and floor. We don't rewind the beginning, we adore the gentle soar of knowing time is limited and asking still for more. Candlelight over vinyl, love will always listen for. Wax remembers fingerprints and keeps them warm as proof. We dance upon the creaking floor, a tender crested roof. The needle sleeps at last and leaves a silver faithful woof, while candlelight keeps whispering the names we still are woof. Paper sleeves like moth wings rustle secrets near the floor. Wax tears down the tumbler while the groove asks once for more. We watch the sill turn argent as the dawn crawls through the door, and archive every heartbeat like a hidden holy score. Shadow on the barroom floor, mercury under glass. We orbit like two clock hands, pretending not to pass. Your dress is made of thunder clouds that barely let me ask if midnight has a softer face behind its silver mask. voice trembling like a chandelier in wind. I step on your confession and you say I should rescind. We laugh like fallen marbles chasing corners skinned. By every rule of gravity we break but still pretend. My wrists are inked with constellations, tiny, flawed and bright. I trace the one that matches you and hide it in the light. Your perfume tastes of elderflower and taxi break at night. We waltz around a rumor and we hold it almost right. The waiter spills a comet of Prosecco down your sleeve. We dab it with a napkin stitched with someone else's grief. You say you like a mess that makes a reason to believe. I say I like a promise kept in teeth so I can hear. Doubles us, then lets us fade. We're dancers with a deadline, honey, soul and jade. I count to 3, then 2, then 1, a vow we almost made. And kiss the air between our mouths, a narrow colonnade. When the band packs up the moon and stacks it in, a map to keep us spinning so we memorize your face. We practice one more waltz beneath the chandelier's dim seam. Mercury on mirrors makes a tunnel soft as dream. Your boat of mine is gravity, a secret silver beam. We leave our fingerprints on time and let the planets gleam. Sheets on the clothesline, ghosting in the moon. Floodlights from the ballpark paint a trembling noon. You pin a corner to my sleeve and hum a crooked tune and say that even laundry holds a secret we'll call soon. Your laugh is warm detergent, jasmine, lemon peel. I make a tent of cotton where the air can kneel. We two become a summer that the crickets wanna steal and kiss between the pillowcases, soft enough to heal. The neighborhood is murmurs and a radio of blues. A moth is doing ballet on the porch light snooze. I drink your silhouette and every quiet bruising and vow to wash the hours till they fit the life we choose. We talk about a city we could build from rope and thread, where promise is a clothesline strung from roof to bed, where even rain is careful how it touches what we said. In every gust of wind returns the buttons we have shed. You twirl a wooden clothespin like a saint with tiny wings, clip my wandering thoughts before the longing stings. We sway with cotton galaxies and house-made holy things, in linen floodlights tender as the song a locust sings. At midnight, when the ballpark dims and moths begin to sleep, we take the sheets inside like a vow that we will keep. Lie down in freshly folded air and let the silence seep. The world smells like forgiveness, laundered bright and deep. A moth becomes a pendulum, the porch light cannot teach. We fold a universe of sheets a fingertip can reach. Floodlights fade to lavender behind the stadium speech. We sleep in clean forgiveness like a tide along the beach. The bar is lined with portraits of the singers time forgot. Their eyes are made of brass and blue, their mouths are lacquered not. You order something bitter with a citrus twist I spot. I write my name on napkins like a sail that will not rot. A trumpet smokes in shadows, the drummer counts in rain. The bartender polishes a doubt, then sets it down again. Our elbows touch like strangers on a fast and breathing train. I read the fortune in your pulse and mispronounce your pain. There are lipstick ghosts on glasses, pink and ruby thin. They kiss the rims and fade away like little vinyl sins. You tilt the light to catch them, say that love begins where someone leaves a mark that wants a mouth to spin. We talk about the middle parts of movies no one saw, the ways an evening puzzles itself into a law. How longing isn't fire, but a silk that wants a floor to snag against and bruise a heart that won't accept its draw. The jukebox clicks a memory and spills a honey hymn. I taste the rind of oranges and learn your quiet grim. You laugh into the glass and blur the edges to the brim, then leave a coral orbit on the moon I'll never dim. Closing time arranges chairs like soldiers in a row. We step outside, the neon coughs a coral lake in glow. Your number on a coaster lifts a wind I did The alley takes our footsteps like a vinyl taking grooves. You tuck the coaster number where the midnight softly proves. Lipstick ghosts keep orbiting the bar in quiet moves. I follow through the wet neon where every rumor soothes. The picture spits itself into the lukewarm kitchen light. We wait for ghosts to gather in the emulsion of our sight. You shake it like a lullaby. I breathe upon the white. Slow fever Polaroid becomes our little ride. Your shoulders in my sweater, my thumbs in your hair. The radio is quiet, but it hums a certain prayer. We stand beside the window where the city learns to stare, and kiss as if the patient night were learning to repair. The image blooms in sepia like coffee from a press. Your smile a kind of mercy I'm unready to confess. I sign the lower margin with a vow to love no less. When morning asks for reasons and for orderly address, we tuck it in the mirror frame behind a postcard sky. So every day we'll borrow from the moment we supply. Slow fever in my bloodstream when you whisper shy a sentence with my name in it that refuses then to die. Place it in a drawer of winter gloves. We'll find it by the faint perfume the instant picture loves, and swear again by kitchen tiles and ceiling fan above that some small square of paper holds a galaxy of doves. We blow across the corners till the colors settle true, then stick it to the fridge with notes on Milken Avenue. A square of fever cooling into constellations new, to prove the night was ours and that its slow pulse still is blue. The chemistry awakens to a city's softened glow. A magnet holds our weather where the kitchen calendars go. Your thumbprint moons the corner like a secret only we know. We file it with the recipes that teach our hunger slow. asphalt, a lacquer midnight skin. Taxi doors like brittle wings, the night keeps folding in. Neon writes our names in cursive on the tin. I taste the ocean flashing in the gutter spin. High heels make cathedral echoes under scaffolds slow. You balance on a parking line like tightrope made of snow. We share a cigarette that burns as if it knows that smoke can parallel the rise and fall of throats. We talk about the constellations printed in the grime, how every traffic cone is praying for its time. I kiss the winter from your wrist and steal your climb. Spill salt from paper packets as if seasoning a rhyme. A liquor store is humming with fluorescent lullabies. We buy a cherry soda just to watch the bubbles rise. It hisses like confession and it stings behind the eyes. You say that love is tender when the city never tries. A billboard of a perfume spills a garden on the rain. Your jacket smells like cedar, jet fuel and champagne. I learn your pulse by counting alleyways refrain. Each beat another lighthouse on a dark Atlantic plain. Neon salt on my tongue, a brine of wanting more. I lick the night from fingertips and lean against your door. If morning is a verdict, let it sleep upon the floor. I'll keep the ocean in my mouth and taste you like the shore. Taxi roofs like sequins drift across the soda sky. Neon salts the boulevard and dares the thirst to try. Your breath is winter citrus when you lean a little sly. We keep the night between our teeth and never let it dry. Stray light wets the asphalt, a lacquer midnight skin. Taxi doors like brittle wings, the night keeps folding in. Neon writes our names in cursive on the tin. I taste the ocean flashing in the gutter spin. High heels make cathedral echoes under scaffolds slow. You balance on a parking line like tightrope made of snow. We share a cigarette that burns as if it knows that smoke can parallel the rise and fall of throats. We talk about the constellations printed in the grime, how every traffic cone is praying for its time. I kiss the winter from your wrist and steal your climb. Spill salt from paper packets as if seasoning a rhyme. A liquor store is humming with fluorescent lullabies. We buy a cherry soda just to watch the bubbles rise. is like confession, and it stings behind the eyes. You say that love is tender when the city never tries. A billboard of a perfume spills a garden on the rain. Your jacket smells like cedar jet, fuel and champagne. I learn your pulse by counting alleyways, refrain. Each beat another lighthouse on a dark Atlantic plain. Neon salt on my tongue, a briner wanting more. I lick the knife from fingertips and lean against your door. If morning is a verdict, let it sleep upon the floor. I'll keep the ocean in my mouth and taste you like the shore. Taxi routes like sequins drift across the soda sky. Neon salts the boulevard and dares the thirst to try. Your breath is winter citrus when you lean a little sly. We keep the night between our teeth and never let it dry. A postcard curls inside my coat, the ink a city blue. I wrote it on the fire escape where rooftops drink the dew. The pigeon choir started up and praised a modest view. I told you how the laundry lines were flags of people true. Your windowsill grows basil like a saint inside a jar. You say it tastes like summer when the nights refuse to spar. I plan to kiss behind your ear and label it a star, then read the card aloud beneath a siren from afar. The metal steps remember all the footprints we have made. We sit with cups and breathe the dusk we never will evade. The alley's little symphony is tender yet afraid of mornings that will shuffle us to obligations played. I promise to be brave in ways that look like folding sheets, like buying healthier strawberries, like learning smaller feats. To love you with a steadiness that glows in humble heat. Postcard from the fire escape, a pledge the city eats. We listen to a neighbor's radio through paper walls. They sing along off key and let the harmony have falls. You kiss my palm and draw a heart that almost never stalls. We watch the moon appoint us to its narrow marble halls. I lick the stamp with hope and press it firm and straight. The basil nods approval from its terracotta plate. Fire escape confessions find a neighborhood of fate. We mail our softer promises before it gets too late. Graphite stains my fingers from the skyline's iron spine. We trace the rust like constellations, lovers realign. A rooftop cat approves and curls around our line, and somewhere mailbags sail with words that steadily incline. The kettle sighs, a snake of steam that curls around the blind. We tie our mourning loosely, leave the tangled night behind. Your hair is river midnight, comb left in a gentle bind. I drink the hush between your words and taste the tender kind. The tablecloth is linen with a ring where tea once bled. I trace it like an omen, like a halo that has fled. You butter toast with patience, every motion like it said. That love is how we memorize the smallest daily thread. We talk about the fairy and the fog that eats its horn, how seagulls steal the breakfast from the suits who look forlorn. I tuck a spoon inside your palm to tempt the gray from morn, and let its silver belly be the mirror love has worn. A neighbor drags recycling down the staircase like a hymn. The bottles clink like wedding bells we never planned to ring. You kiss the bit of honey at my lips' unruly brim, and promise I can keep it when the day grows tall and dim. The clock pretends to yawn, the street exhales a buzz. We fold the night like napkins that remember both of us. Tie silk knots at dawn and speak a pledge without a fuss. I'd live in this small kitchen if the world would just discuss. We tie another simple knot and let the kettle steam. The spoon becomes a metronome to pace a gentler dream. Your smile is linen sunshine on a cupboard's quiet gleam. We sign the day with patience like a seam to hold the seam. We latch the window carefully and scatter crumbs for grace. Your coat sleeves make a harbor where my hands can find their place. Daybreak draws a map of us across the cupboard face, and breakfast learns our history in the quiet, steady pace. The hotel breakfast lingers like a rumor over toast. A waitress draws a heart inside the foam you love the most. I pocket tiny jars of jam, become a gentle host. For sweetness when the afternoon will feel a little ghost. On mezzanine there's piano with a plaque that says to share. I lift the lid as if it were your shoulder in the air. Play chords that learned your name from perfume in your hair. watch the chandelier make constellations from our stair. Room 314 is quiet as a sealed and silver book. We lay the key upon the desk like any sacred hook. I ask if we should read the ending or refuse to look. You say that endings choose us as the flowers choose the brook. We ride on hotel stationery plans we cannot keep, like boarding trains to subtler towns and promising to sleep. Yet hunger makes a metronome of wrist and throat so deep. We let the borrowed piano set our windows out to weep. Afternoon becomes a velvet of the city's breathing chest. We underlined a sentence saying longing is a guest who knocks with gentle knuckles and who never needs to rest. I play the keys with fingertips that learned your simplest yes. When evening puts her pearls on and the lobby lights are slow, we close the fall board softly like a secret we won't show. Room 314 contains the echo we will sow in pockets of our coats to hear whenever lights are low. We ghost the lobby carpet when the elevator sighs. The fall board shuts like eyelids over minor key goodbyes. Room 314 keeps echo in its pocket where it lies. A borrowed piano holds our names in gentle hidden ties. We find the antique carousel behind the locked-up gate. Its horses wear a halo made of dust and borrowed fate. You say you always wanted to be dizzy, slow and late. I feed a coin to memory and hear the gears debate. The organ coughs a lullaby the 1920s left. We climb on painted saddles and confess each little theft of hours from our work days, of kisses in the cleft between a yes and maybe, where our better selves have wept. We orbit like a secret moon around a city square. Your laughter scratches sunlight on the copper of my care. The mirrors splinter three of you, then fold them into prayer. I reach for every version and they all are warm and fair. We talk about the calliope that drives the world ritual of trance, until the music slows and we must practice abstinence. When night puts on her gloves again and shades her steady eyes, we pocket dusty halos for the days of colder skies, and promise to return with pomp and foolish compromise, to ride until the painted mare forgets to dramatize. We feed it to more coins until the mirrors blur our eyes. Calliope and laughter make a treaty with our sighs. A halo made of dust and love becomes our best disguise. We step off feeling younger than the somber winter skies. The token roll is thunder in a pocket full of keys. A painted griffin watches with a melancholy ease. The music box of summer wears beneath the winter breeze. We wave to all our yesterdays and step off almost pleased. I found a single rose, thorn in the fold where cheeks have slept. It pricked my fingertip as if the dark itself had wept. You smiled a little guilty, said the florist must have kept a secret stitched in ribbons where the fragile roses crept. Our bed a wide museum of the nights we tried to mend. We make a temporary truce with cotton as a friend. A promise to be gentler when the long hours bend. You promise to be honest even when they never end. I kiss the crescent shadow where your eyelash softly lies. We talk about the morning and its difficult goodbyes. You tuck my hair behind my ear and shelter both my eyes from daylight's quick insistence and its bossy little spies. The coffee stains the newspaper with rumors of a war. We shield our quiet kingdom with a trembling bedroom door. Thorns on the pillowcase remind me what we swore, to tend each other's gardens with a patience never poor. When afternoon grows lavender and traffic starts to moan, we pick the rose apart and plan each petal like a bone. In books we loved and shoes we wore and pockets we have known, so fragrance follows everywhere we dare to be alone. We rinse the thorn in rose water keeps the lesson as the softer hours pass. You smooth the sheet and promise me the morning will be class. And every tender danger we will sweetly let amass. We sew a softer seam with thread, the color of relief. A thimble crowns your finger like a tiny silver leaf. The window learns to open to a noon forgiving brief. And breeze replaces nightmares with a linen scented chief. There's a candle in a tumbler, giving jazz to shadow walls. The record keeps a secret in the hiss between its falls. You sway with fingertips that edit out my flaws and spin me like a vinyl sleeve that knows its older laws. The needle lifts a splinter of a velvet afternoon. A trumpet throws confetti made of bitters and of moon. Your perfume tastes of apricot and accident in tune. I hold your gaze the way a skyline keeps its late June. We borrowed someone's speakers and we turn them soft and loud. A neighbor taps the ceiling like a storm inside a cloud. We laugh into the darkness and the darkness makes a shroud. Then tears it with a chorus where my mouth is safe and proud. I promise you a library of evenings just like this, where wax and flame and heartbeat make a modest kind of bliss. We catalog the kisses like a vinyl lover's list and press the label down to make the edges never miss. By side B, night is syrup on the windowsill and floor. We don't rewind the beginning, we adore the gentle soar of knowing time is limited and asking still for more. Candlelight over vinyl, love will always listen for. Wax remembers fingerprints and keeps them warm as proof. We dance upon the creaking floor, a tender crested roof. The needle sleeps at last and leaves a silver faithful woof, while candlelight keeps whispering the names we still are woof. Paper sleeves like moth wings rustle secrets near the floor. Wax tears down the tumbler while the groove asks once for more. We watch the sill turn argent as the dawn crawls through the door, and archive every heartbeat like a hidden holy score. There's a hotel key in the ashtray, glazed in nicotine and gold, sunk like a coin in amber, kept for keeping what we told. Curtains heavy as a winter coat, someone forgot to fold. A bedside Bible underlined in lipstick, brave and bold. Your shoes point to the exit, mine face the little bar. Ice melts in a bucket like a minor falling star. I learn your favorite silence in the stripes of window scar, and map the city on your chest, a glowing reservoir. Elevator coughs up laughter from the wedding down the hall. We swear we'll crash it later with our perfume and a shawl, but velvet finds our ankles like a low tide kind of call, and we become a secret etched into the peeling wall. Room numbers blink like Morse code, pleading please return. I blow on dice you never roll and watch the corners burn. You say you left your watch at home to let the minute learn how long a breath can hold a love, how slow a world can turn. Housekeeping floats by morning with a symphony of keys. I gather up your cologne from the pillow's faded crease. We make a bed of warnings and of tender, stubborn pleas, then sign the register with names we'll never use again with ease. There's a checkout at 11 and a promise at 2, but time keeps pulling sheets off everything we knew. The ashtray gleams with secrets and a rented point of view. I pocket that small metal moon and leave with part of you. The ashtray keeps its meteor, a brass and borrowed star. We breathe the last blue smoke and leave the door ajar. Checkout slips like silk from hands that learned how brief we are. I pocket one small orbit and it follows from afar. The flute is thin as rumor, your lipstick on the rim. We toast to small survivals until lamps go cold and dim. A violin upstairs complains about a hymn. We promise we'll be kinder when the future lets us swim. The bubbles make a ladder that refuses to hold weight. We laugh at our bravado, then confess that we could wait for one more lazy winter where the snow arrives too late and gives us faulty reasons to delay the heavy gate. I find your wrist in darkness like a dock that lights a boat. You breathe an ocean alphabet, all vowels in your throat. We name the constellations after things we couldn't note and shake the bottle once to make a tiny sorrow till it softens from its wedge. The night forgets the hour when the elevator sleeps. We walk the carpet hallway, counting paisley printed steeps. Your laugh becomes a chandelier, the quiet almost keeps. I tip the bottle skyward, and the last gold softly weeps. The hallway smells of citrus and of carpet cleaning sea. We clink the lonely flutes and make a private amnesty. When bubbles fade to memory, you lean and rescue me. Champagne writes our initials in a slow transparency. The cork, small iron cage, sits curled beside the sink. Elevator mirrors teach us how two shadows link. Minibar lemons glow like coins we'll never drink. We walk the silk descending stairs where footsteps softly think. They're stacked in wooden crates, a summer held in wool. The grocer says they traveled nights to make this city full. We buy the ripest too and let our pockets pull at coats that keep the season from our tender, greedy skull. Back home the radiator clanks like pots in distant trains. We lean against the windowsill and count the window panes. Your fingers thaw my knuckles with a citrus that remains from childhood afternoons and porches after rains. I cut the peach and spill a sun upon a plate. You taste it from my wrist and say that heaven can be laid. That sweetness isn't calendar, but patience at the gate. I lick the golden rivers we are almost scared to state. Outside a child is sculpting angels in the slush. We leave a tip for weather in the jar of evening's hush. You wear a sweater huge enough to make an armored brush. I make a mercy of your sleeves and plan a gentle crush. If sorrow is a season, let it borrow from these fruits. Let it soften round the edges, let it sprout forgiven shoots. We'll can a dozen memories in honey bright pursuits and open them at midnight when the coldest warning hoots. We lay cordial at low cost. A knife of kitchen sunlight slides across the sugared skin. The stone keeps summer's kernel like a secret locked within. We warm our hands in mittens of each other, kin to kin, and write our names on frosted glass before the trucks begin.